Hello and welcome to this sixth Ask Your Hotel Techie video. I'm Elisha from Hotel Spider and I'm here today to share our know-how with you in video format. I'm very excited about today's video as it is based on our first viewer question. Davor sent us a message on Facebook. I encourage you to do the same. Ask your question, I'm happy to give you my input. You can find us on Facebook at Hotel Spider. You can also tweet at us at hotel_spider. Or you can find us on LinkedIn, just search for Hotel Spider. But you can also go the old-fashioned way and send us an email, info@hotel-spider.com. Davor wants to talk about a hotelier's biggest fear, overbooking. He suggests reducing your online inventory and collaborating with hotel partners in the area. Both very good points. I would like to give you my perspective and my input on this. But first, I want to look at the basic dilemma of channel management when it comes to your last availabilities. In a perfect world, you would have 100% control. You could sell all your inventory till the last moment without any risk. But that's not how it works. The channel manager gets your current availabilities either directly or through an integration with your PMS. Then it distributes that availability online through multiple platforms. This is a copy process, so the same inventory will be sent to multiple platforms. That means at any given point, the same inventory, the same rooms are online, sellable on multiple systems. For example, Booking.com doesn't verify with the channel manager or the PMS system every time it wants to make a reservation. It bases itself on the inventory stored based on the last update from the channel manager. So at any given point, you have the same inventory multiple times online on different platforms. In the normal scenario, a reservation gets made on one platform, their channel manager gets this reservation and updates the availability on all connected channels. But depending on the system and the integration, requesting the reservation, getting the reservation, processing the reservation, sending an update to the OTAs, and then the OTAs changing their availabilities can take up to a couple of minutes in a worst case scenario. So if two customers are in parallel booking the same room on different platforms, they will get a booking reservation and no system in the world will be fast enough to stop it. So that's the inherent limitation of working with channel management technology. Overbooking for many hotels is an operational nightmare. What are you going to do with that guest if you don't have a room for him? Where is he going to sleep? Worst case scenario, you only find out at the moment when the guest stands at your reception trying to check in and you don't have a room for him. But you can also take a different perspective and then an overbooking can become a risk calculation. If you take a conscious decision to deal with them in that way. Overbookings are an issue of supply and demand, and that's also why they always happen when your entire city or the entire region is already very busy. As a hotelier, in order to look at an overbooking as a risk calculation, you have to consider different aspects. What is your cancellation rate? What does an overbooking cost you financially, but also in terms of reputation? What's going on around you, or do you have operational solutions for an overbooking? And on the other hand, you really have to weigh how much additional revenue can I make over the entire year by having all inventory online on all platforms till the last moment. Based on the answer to this calculation, some hotels will just take the decision to generally limit their online inventory. And for some hotels, that might be the best decision. However, I personally believe that you should avoid this whenever possible. Most hotels don't have an overbooking issue 90% of the year. So why limit your opportunities to sell your rooms 365 days? Only because of a couple of days where you actually do have that risk. Here's what I would do. First, limit your availabilities on the OTAs for these days out of the year where you're 100% sure you're gonna have 100% occupancy. Second, yield up your prices over time to match your demand with the supply you have. Third, especially in these peak seasons, use restrictions in pricing to drive bookings to your direct channels. 4. Keep as much availability open as long as possible on as many channels as possible. 5. Have a clear idea of your overbooking rate, but also your cancellation rate. And 6. Have a plan in place. Overbooking will happen, and it's important to have a plan to deal with it operationally. I have some extreme examples from clients of ours. These do not apply to every hotel, obviously, but I think they very nicely illustrate how you can look at overbooking as a risk calculation rather than an operational nightmare. One of our clients by default overbooks himself by 5%. So let's say he has 100 rooms, he will always sell 105 rooms. He knows exactly his cancellation rate for every day of the year, so he can calculate exactly the risk of having an overbooking in the end of the day. My second extreme example is a hotelier that never closes his inventory. Even on days where he's fully booked, he will still have his rooms online for sale. What he does, he goes up with his prices so extreme that if a reservation comes in, he will be easily able to upgrade that client to a different property. This way, whenever somebody looks for his property anywhere, they will find him, and guests with a flexible itinerary might decide to stay with him on days where he's not as busy. Both are very extreme examples, but I do think they show very nicely how you can embrace overbookings to increase your revenue. I hope I was able to give you some interesting input on how to mitigate overbookings through technology, but also how you can change your perspective on overbookings and look at them as a risk-benefit calculation. Thank you, Davor, for your excellent question. Let me know what you think, what you liked and where you disagree. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. This is Ask Your Hotel Techie. Thank you and stay tuned for the next video.